Duterte allied ano natin, politician natin, would also not give up in a sense na sana tutukan rin nila itong mga ano no, mga kapalpakan ni George Garcia. Because ano yung pandarayang nangyari nag-start 2024 pa eh. Sinet up talaga yung stage for this election result. Ayan. And there are so many things that George Garcia has to pay for. Like for example, yung pag-aalaw ng ayuda during the election season, yung ginawa niya sa disqualification, yung well, pinakamalaking ano talaga diyan is yung pagli-legalize niya ng vote buying effectively. Pagli-legalize ng vote buying effectively. Ano 'no, yung sa akin yung mga nagsasabi nga nung kasi wala namang kuwenta, dadayain lang rin naman tayo. Guys, kaya nga dadayain talaga tayo. Day 1 pa lang sinasabi ko na kaya nga tayo nagko-consolidate kasi alam nating dadayain tayo. Kaya nga tayo nagko-consolidate kasi alam nating dadayain tayo, alam nating hindi magiging fair yung eleksyon, 'di ba? So ngayon, well at this point, what we want to know is whether or not yung dayaan na nangyari is something that is enough to invalidate the entire election. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think aabot tayo sa gano'ng ano. But I hope that yung ating mga election advocate would, and especially yung mga Duterte allied ano natin, politician natin, would also not give up in a sense na sana tutukan rin nila itong mga ano no, mga kapalpakan ni George Garcia. Because yung pandarayang nangyari nag-start 2024 pa eh. Sinet up talaga yung stage for this election result. Ayan. And there are so many things that George Garcia has to pay for. Like for example, yung pag-aalaw ng ayuda during the election season, yung ginawa niya sa disqualification, yung well, pinakamalaking ano talaga diyan is yung pagli-legalize niya ng vote buying effectively. Pagli-legalize ng vote buying effectively. Ayan. So, ano na no, tawag dito yung consolidation. Kaya ka nagko-consolidate kasi nga alam mong dudugasin ka. The only way for us to win an election is really to win overwhelmingly. Yun yan. Yun talaga yan. Simply because hindi tayo yung administrasyon ngayon. Ang admin ngayon yung kalaban natin at nasa kanila yung resources. So kaya ka nagko-consolidate kasi alam mo na mountain talaga yung kailangan mong i-surmount. Ayun. Anyway, ayan. Hello, Ria.
Hi, Joey.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
That's very good. Hi. Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know whether it's kind of like a disappointing turnout for the whole BDS team. But so far we've got how many? Like 6 in the top 12. So I guess that's all right. So if they ended up winning this election, so it's going to be a win for us, even though it's just 6, but it's still good. Um, Pero sayang lang the momentum with all the drama that has happened before with Amy and all the things that surrounds that drama. So I was hoping that we can get a little bit more consolidated, but yeah, hindi nangyari. But so far it's still good. Okay pa rin naman ang turnout, and I'm just hoping for the best. So if we can get our eyes on target and get VP Sara away from the impeachment, that will be fine. So we have, if she runs for president in 2028, that would be good. I think this should be a lesson for all of us. We should be a little bit more analytical when we vote instead of being too emotional. So, ayun. Yun lang. And then for Bam, I think it's not surprising because I think he has that pink vote, diba?
Pero itong grabe to parang hindi ako naniniwala sa 20 million na Bam Aquino.
20 million ba kanyang votes?
20 million siya ngayon ayan no. Well, hindi pa to final, 77% pa lang yung election return na transmitted. Pero as it stands now, 20,345,087 votes ang boto ni Bam Aquino. Parang talaga.
Oh, pero how far away is Bongo pagdating sa numbers?
Bongo is at 26.
Oh, that's malapit lang. That's 6 million.
Oo.
Pero if you think about it, diba, Bam was supposed to run for senator last time, diba, last elections. But he gave way to whoever it is in the camp of Pinks. And then he ended up being Lenny's campaign manager or the Pinks campaign manager. I think he knows how to play the game a little bit, but pero if you think about it, he's not after the Pinks, the Pink team. I think he's after the survival of the Aquinos when it comes to their political careers. Kasi iniwan niya si Kiko di ba? Parang nagsolo si Bam and he's not, you don't see him campaigning with Kiko and then Kiko campaigned somewhere else. Di ba? Nag-Mindanao pa si Kiko, well, Bam, nagsosolo. So, I think, yeah, he's after the political survival of the Aquinos. Because after that, sino bang susunod? Di ba parang wala naman?
Oo. Nagtatanong si Patricia, mas maraming votes si Bam kaysa Lenny. Yeah. Ayun nun,
Yeah,
20 million na to.
15 million lang, I think, Lenny, dati, di ba?
Oo. Ayun no, 20 million na siya. Oh. See? Ayun.
That's what happens if we don't consolidate it. Yeah, so, but it's, well, ayan na yan. So, what can we do? But, you know, we need to take this as a lesson for all of us to be politically mature when it comes to voting because politics is never really about our emotions to begin with. It's not about idealism. It's about how we play the game. So you fight politics with politics. You cannot fight politics with emotions and puro puso. You don't win with that. You fight politics with politics, especially in these elections where it's so divisive. If you think about it, yung divide ng pro-admin is with opposition is very very clear. So we need to be smart next time, and don't be swayed with and commit, and don't be swayed with your emotions. Your emotions will always get the best of you, and you will not able to think things through. So next time, let's all be smart. Ayun lang masasabi ko. Pero hopefully we get the 6 seats that we needed in the Senate. That's for Sarah's protection. Because if we protect Sarah, we also protect the RLD. And the legacy of the man. So yeah, that's all I can say. So hopefully everyone's doing fine. I know a lot are disappointed because of the voter turnout, but well, what can we do? Ayan na siya. We cannot really do anything about it.
Correct. Tsaka no, yun nga, yung sa mga, hindi, yung tawag dito, dadayaan lang naman tayo, ganyan. You have to change your, you have to change your mindset about dayaan. Ang mga mandaraya, hindi yan mandaraya na sobrang garapal because they do not want the entire election to be invalidated. What they want to do is that to just tinker a bit, something that is enough for them to get what they want, pero not really to kumbaga parang not really so garapal that it will invalidate the entire election. So
exactly.
Oo. Hindi ganoon ang isip ng totoong madugas. Ang totoong madugas, ang isip niyan, ayaw niyang i-invalidate ang eleksyon. So therefore, controlled ang daya niyan. Hindi niya yan itotodo. Kaya nga handun yung space natin para lumaban eh. The only way for us to beat that kind of situation is really to overcome yung whatever na possible na daya na pwede nilang gawin. And that is to win overwhelmingly pagdating sa botohan. And we can only do that if we consolidate.
Exactly. And that defeatist mindset will not get us anywhere. So dayaan will always be there in any way, shape, or form, whether it be direct or indirect. Isn't vote buying an indirect form of cheating? Dun pa lang before elections, you see a lot of vote buying incidents. So that's a form of cheating already. So yeah, so dun pa lang, alam mo na there's a possibility of dayaan. And if you go in this game or in this situation that you are already defeated, wala na, talo na. So you have to be, there's a lot of fight left in us to win this game. So seriously, in 2028, it's going to be the Bardagulan will be really high. I can imagine that already. So baka ma-deactivate na naman mga accounts mo yan come 2028. So but yeah, ayun, emotions kasi are really just high right now kasi
True.
PRRD got
I can't believe,
kidnapped.
no? I can't believe si Kiko, mas marami pa siyang boto dun sa,
Ayun nga eh.
mas marami pang
Um,
boto si Kiko sa ano, ay, sa mga kandidato natin. My God.
ayun nga eh. So, medyo sumakit yung ulo ko when I saw the results kasi BAM, sige, I can, yeah, BAM, okay, all right. So, sige, nandun na siya. But Kiko, still, he's in the top 12. Anong nangyari? So, that's it's questionable for me, pero sige, top 12 siya. But we still have Bato de la Rosa, Marcoleta, and the two other ladies, Aimee and Camille. So, but yeah, it would be more fun if we got more PDP senators in there, pero hindi nangyari. Pero wala, eto na. Disappointing, but we still have the seats. So maganda din yung diversification ng PDP when it comes to promoting Aimee and Camille. Although a lot of people really didn't like the idea of Aimee being supported by Inday, but it's for Inday survival din naman kasi, you know, and then for Camille, well, they are our ammunitions when it comes to, you know, power in the Senate or voice in the Senate. And, you know, they're bala providers like what Attorney Trixie said before. They are bala providers, the Villars. So, yeah, so masaya na rin ako. And then in this part of Manila, Yorme, I think he already won this election. So I'm happy that he won, and most of these candidates won. But I'm not really happy for Ernix because he signed the impeachment for Sara. So I really didn't like that. But okay, pwede na rin.
Ayun.
Wala tayong magagawa.
Suck it up. Ayun.
Well, yun na lang din. So, lesson na lang din talaga for everyone. Makinig kay Joey. Yan, that's number one. And then number two, read the room. Read the room very carefully. The surveys, although may masahe ang numbers na yan, if it is a PR survey or if it is being brought up by the media, but they cannot be far behind from the reality. Yung mga surveys na yan. And then of course when we vote, don't be too emotional. I know voting is an emotional exercise, but try to be a little bit smarter when you vote.
Sabi ni RK, di naman dapat i-tolerate ang cheating, wag i-normalize. We're not normalizing cheating, okay? We're not normalizing it. But if you're going to make a plan, if you're going to make a strategy, you have to factor that in. It doesn't mean that you're normalizing it. It's just a recognition that it really happens. Because that happens ever since nagkaroon ng election dito sa Pilipinas, nangyayari yung dayaan na yan. And you have to I mean, ito kasi yung mga ito yung mga irrelevant na nakakagulo nung of course you have to fight cheating. Kaya nga 'di ba sinasabi ko kanina na dapat yung mga allies natin, you do not let George Garcia off the hook. Kailangan lahat ng pandaraya or lahat ng ginawa niya sa eleksyon na to, you should be held accountable. I talked about it a while ago. Okay? Nobody's normalizing it. Though you have to separate the fight on the cheating, fight against cheating, and at the same time, yung strategizing. Okay? When you acknowledge the fact that cheating will happen every single election, it doesn't mean you're normalizing it. You are just trying to put all the variables so that you make a strong plan. Wag yun. Hindi yun pag-normalize ng cheating. My God naman.
And when it comes to elections, there's too many things on the line. Number one is the career of the politicians. And then number two, the money involved. Makita nyo naman, the vote buying alone, how much is that? Diba? So, if you're shelling out way too much of your time, money, and everything else, and then there's your survival on the line as well. If you think about that, sinong hindi kailangang mandaya dyan in any way, shape, or form?
Mhm.
May mandadaya at mandadaya sa ganyang sitwasyon. So you have to outsmart them. So you cannot really be too emotional with this. You have to outsmart them. Ayun lang yun eh. Because if you just if you're a little too dramatic about the situation, it will not get us anywhere talaga. So we have to really think about the situation. Think like a politician, kumbaga.
Sabi ni Sky, understand also the side of who did not like Amy. She went to Alianza first, only in the last. Kaso in-endorse na nga ni Inday. In-endorse na nga ni Inday. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga political power moves na yan, na-take into consideration din ni Inday. Diba?
Yeah.
Ayun.
Ganun lang eh. Inday knows how to play the game. Although, if you think about it, isn't it kind of late na she did that? Endorsing Amy and Camille. Do you think it's kind of late for her to do that? Kind of like in the last stretch of the campaign period. Ayun. And then actually, that's a question for you, Joey. Do you think it's rather late for Inday na in-endorse mo si Amy and Camille?
Sorry. Ano yung last part na
sinabi? Ayun. Do you think it's rather late for Inday to endorse Amy and Camille with just a few weeks to the elections?
Maybe. Medyo ano rin eh, kumbaga parang actually even PDP eh. Late rin sila nag-campaign eh.
Oo nga.
They have a schedule to campaign Iloilo, di ba na-cancel?
Yeah.
And they never really launched like a massive yung kumbaga yung parang big stage campaign. I don't know, maybe lack of resources or something like that. Pero ano rin talaga, parang sa side natin talaga, late rin talaga tayo. Whether it is Inday or whether it is PDP, parang masyadong maliit yung wing room natin. The kidnapping of PRRD is a huge event. Kaya rin kumbaga parang hindi masyadong na-prioritize yung election. Kasi nga I don't know, huminto rin kasi talaga yung mundo natin dahil nga doon sa nangyari kay PRRD. And to be honest, at certain point, I thought that the election will not happen because of that. Apparently, ito nga yung kaya nga ako masama yung loob ko rin, masama rin yung loob ko eh. Kasi parang ayaw nating mag-isip ng mabuti kung ano yung pinakamagandang diskarte dito sa bulok na sistema na to. Pero at the same time, ayaw rin namang magrevolusyon ng mga tao at palitan tong sistema na ito. 'Di ba? So how are we going to win this? If we're going to stay in this kind of system, you have to outsmart the system. You have to you have to cheat the system. Ganon, by understanding how it works. And by doing so, dapat hindi bida yung emosyon mo, hindi bida yung feelings mo. Parang hindi, let's understand yung ganyan. Hindi natin afford mag-therapy session ng pains and traumas dito ng mga tao eh. Yun yung problem. There is a fight to win. There is a there is a we always we always target to have the upper hand pagdating sa election and sa government position and things like that. We need allies to be there. So yun yung dapat na goal. And well, I guess siguro dahil we are kumbaga parang we are a new group. Yung mga yellows diyan sila magaling eh. Magaling sila, organisado sila eh. Yung mga CPP and PND, sila magaling eh. Cold-hearted sila. Kapag tactical alliance lang talaga, walang feelings, ganyan. Of course, I am not saying that we're going to have a tactical alliance with and forgetting all our principles and whatnot, ganon. Kasi ang pinupunto ko lang dyan is that si Amy, hindi naman siya talaga tactical alliance lang eh. She is actually our ally. She is our ally. Hindi tactical alliance lang si Amy. Okay? Si Amy, kakampi talaga natin pag lahat doon sa mga social issues, political issues, yung position ni Amy is actually the position of the Dutertes. So kakampi siya talaga. Kakampi siya talaga pagdating dun sa mga causes. Ganon. So, Amy is not just really a tactical Camille Villar, perhaps, pwede ko pa i-consider yun, tactical alliance yun eh. Kasi meron siyang resources, meron siyang pere. I don't think she really, she's really valuable enough pagdating dun sa mga social issues and whatnot. Kasi nga sila mismo, meron din sila mga issues. Ganon. But Amy is not a tactical alliance. Amy is really an ally. Dahil kakampi natin siya dun sa mga issues. But, however, because a lot of you felt that the issue of betrayal and things like that, dahil kapatid niya yung presidente, it became a major driver of doubt and division.
Ayun nga eh. So, if kung wala nun, it will be smooth sailing sana, but it happened. So, wala. I'm hoping that she doesn't fall down to the number 13 or 14 slot. Sana she's in the top 12 because she really is an ally. Well, at first, I was thinking that maybe she's not. Maybe she's playing with Inday a little bit. Pero hindi eh. When it comes to his position against the executive department with ERRD's arrest or kidnapping rather, she really did the work. I mean, a lot of the things that she said during the hearing, I think those are the things that we really will not even think of. So, yeah, I think she can be useful for Inday as well. Pagdating sa impeachment. And I'm just hoping that she doesn't fall out of the top 12. Kasi kailangan siya ni Inday.
Lalo na ngayon, no?
Yes. Malapit na din kasi yung the impeachment trial. So, yun lang. And then for those na disappointed, try to be happy. We have 6 men, we have 6 men or man or whatever it is, in the top 12. So we should be happy. So 6 yun or 6 ba 5?
5.
So, I don't know. 5. So yeah, we have 5. We have 5 of our allies.
6 si Robin Padilla.
6. So. And then there are some non-re-electionists but might not vote for Inday's impeachment. So, yeah, we need the additional allies talaga. So, at least let's be a little bit thankful that the votes turn out this way. It's still on our favor as it is. Yun lang. So, next time siguro, let's be a little bit smarter with this. Kaya natin to, just be a little bit smart. This kind of situation, this election rather, this will make us smarter next time.
Smarter and stronger.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Ayun lang.
Okay. Thank you, Ria. Maraming salamat. Sabi ni Lip, I don't believe the result. Yes. Thank you, Ria. Maraming salamat.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Sabi ni Lip, I do not believe the result is authentic. I am an absentee voter. I do not have receipts of my votes. Comelec sent me a link to do online voting. Hindi talaga yan yung authentic. Meron nga, Diyos ko, kanina pa sinasabi, yung Bama tsaka si Kiko, admin candidates yung mga yan. Yan nga yung sinasabi ko kanina dati pa eh. Diba? Admin candidates yan. Admin candidates yung mga yan. So, ibig sabihin, whatever votes that they are enjoying right now, it is because they are backed by the admin. They are backed by the admin. Ayun. So, kung kunwari, kung ano man yung legit na vote niya nila, ganyan, nakakuha talaga yan ng push. Nakakuha talaga yan ng push. So, yun. Kasama talaga yan sa paglaki. Kasama talaga yan sa hinaharap nating mga challenges. Hindi talaga yan yung authentic. However, yun yung nag-register na boto nila. Okay? Ngayon, ang problema dyan kasi, we have to prove that it is really not their votes. And how are we going to do that? Kasi we have to legally prove it. And what is the history of proving ng mga yung mga election protests and things like that? 'Di ba? Ano yung batting rate ng mga election protests, especially when we say na hindi naman talaga dapat yan yung botong nakuha mo. It's gonna be really really tough for us to do that. I'm not saying na na parang na tanggapin na lang natin or whatsoever ganyan na kaso doon tayo sa realidad. The only election protest na talagang nagkaroon ng resulta at na-resolve, na sort out is the Kiko and the Coco Pimentel and Miguel Zubiri election protest. That's the only one I can remember. Ayun. Well, sana wag nating tantanan at ma-figure out natin yung extent ng dayaan ngayon. Gusto ko rin 'yan. Gano'n, wala rin namang problema diyan. Pero there's no point in crying over spilled milk. Na hindi talaga 'yan yung totoong boto. Hindi talaga 'yan yung totoong boto nila. Hindi talaga yung totoong boto nila kasi nga nakakuha talaga ng push 'yan from Momshi and Popshi. Ayun. Ayun lang. Hello, we deserve better.
Hi, Miss Joey. Magandang umaga na. Kasi 12:44 na.
Oo,
Malinaw.
12:44 na. Ayan.
Oo, so ayan. So, hayaan mo ko simulan ang natutuwa lang ako. Nakita ko yung pangalan ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta sa top 6.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Lalo na nung sabi ko, eto na. Nung nakita ko kasi siya, na ang tawag dito, na nag-file na ng candidacy, ganyan. Ay, sa isip-isip ko, eto na. Ito na yon, para ito na, Senator Marcoleta na to, dadating na yung time. Na totoong time niya na talaga sa Senado. At ito na nga, kung narinig mo to, Senator Marcoleta, we're so happy na magkakaroon na kami ng isang katulad mo sa Senado. Kakaroon na ng mas damdamin, mas matalinong debate sa Senado. While nakita natin na meron sa resulta na hindi natin gusto, pero alam natin na possible pa rin yung goal na si VP Sara na ma-acquit. Kasi merong mga events na magdidikta kung ano ba yung, alam mo yon, yung makikita ng mga senador para bumoto according to that event. Okay? And kung maipasok ko rin regarding sa 2020, since 2025, matapos na ang 2025 elections, ito na yung panahon na magkakaroon na ng power shift. Yung magkakaroon na ng lipatan ng mga aliado, ganyan. So ito yung perfect timing para lalo tayo maging mas malakas. Sabi nga ni VP Sara sa kanyang press release na tulong-tulong tayo para magkaroon ng principled opposition ngayon. Okay? So mas naging exciting ngayon yung for the next 3 years na 2025 to 2028 because of this event, because of this election result. Kasi isipin mo, number 1 si Bongo. Okay? So kahit paano balentongin yan ni Richard yan o ni...
Yung nagsasabi na yung hindi namin maintindihan ang taas ng boto ni Bongo pagkatapos yung... Guys, you have to remember, Bongo was a former SAP. And he was able to establish networks that other Duterte members weren't able to establish. So ibig sabihin, si Bongo, ang niche niya ni Bongo, yung Duterte supporters, and at the same time nakapag-build yan ng kanyang network dahil dati yung SAP So ibig sabihin, yung mga natulungan niya at napagbigyan niya nung SAP siya ng mga local government officials, I'm pretty sure hindi pa rin nakakalimutan yan si Bongo. Ganon. So ngayon, kung susuportahan nila si Bongo, hindi ibig sabihin nun, i-extend nila yung suporta nila to others. So, sa mga nagtataka kung bakit hindi pantay yung boto ni Bongo sa ibang mga kandidato, huwag kayong magtaka. Huwag kayong magtaka.
Kasi personal sa kanya yun yung boto nila.
Personal sa kanya yun. Sabihin na natin na yung Duterte movement was able to, let's say, generate 10 million votes. Was able to generate 10 million votes. Yung 10 million votes na yon na organic, purely organic, because of the Duterte movement, ayan, na-generate. You have to take into consideration na si Senator Bato at saka si Senator Bongo, meron na yung sariling, kasi na sila mga naupong senador na yung mga yan may base yan, meron silang built-in talaga, meron na sila talagang bit-bit na mga boto na kanila lang, ganun, just like si Senator Amy, di ba? Biruin mo, kahit inaaway siya ng mga loyalista at saka inaaway siya ng mga Duterte supporters, she is fighting her spot at 11-12. 'Di ba? Mas mataas kaysa dun sa ibang mga Duterte. 'Di ba? So what does that mean? Kasi nga meron rin siya talaga sarili niya. Ganun.
Tsaka Miss Joey, napatunayan itong eleksyon na to na yung political capital ng Duterte, yung tinatawag na Duterte magic, is still alive. Bakit nag-number 1 si Bongo? bakit last minute na endorsement ni Senate ni VP Inday kay Amy and kay Camille, bigla silang nakita natin sa Magic 12. So ibig sabihin, yung Duterte Magic na tinatawag since 2016 is still there. So hindi siya maikakaila kahit ni Richard Darian o kahit sino ba mga Poncio. Yung mga ano dyan, yung mga nagpapanggap na political scientist or analyst na pinipilit i-twist na hindi wala kinalaman si Duterte sa pagpasok ni Bongo sa survey and now pagiging top 1, parang nilalayo nila yung pagkakapat while si Bongo nagkaroon siya ng personal base bilang Bongo, Mr. Malasakit. Pag narinig mo kasi yung pangalang Bongo, Duterte agad yung maiisip mo pagka inisip mo yung context sa politika. So, pag sinabi mo, uy, Bongo, ano to ni Duterte? So, kahit yung mga normal na tao, common tao, ayun yung maaalala nila. Kaya, so kung may mga nakikinig na political analyst dito, nanalo si Bongo dahil sa kanyang political base sa sarili at dahil sa Duterte Magic. Tanggapin nyo na yan. So dahil number 1 yan, hindi nyo maikakaila. O, di ba? So ngayon, yung mga
hindi kasi natatranslate yan, no? Parang, ay dapat, bakit si Bongo ganun karami? Pagkatapos yung iba, yung iba, sabihin, alam mo yun, to put it bluntly, may sariling lakad si Bongo. Meron siya sariling lakad. Ayun. Okay? At itong si Senator Bato, tsaka to si Amy, tsaka si Camille Villar, may mga sariling lakad rin yung mga yan. Aside from the fact na handun nga rin sila sa kumbaga they are benefiting dun sa goodwill ni PRRD. Ayun. Sabi ni Lipay, so bakit none of us voice out to complain against Comelec? Lipay, kung nakikinig ka ng vlog ko, halos araw-araw kong inuulit at sinasabi kung bakit hindi faithful ang Comelec sa kanyang mandate. Ayan. At kung yung mga nakikinig dito ng vlog ko na sinasamahan ako, okay, natatandaan nyo yan, 4 ang reasons ko. Okay? 4 yung reasons ko kung bakit ako ay naniniwala na hindi faithful ang Comelec sa kanyang mandate na clean, fair, and orderly election. So huwag mo sasabihin na no fast voice out or complain. Diyos ko po, araw-araw ako nagko-complain sa Comelec. Ayun.
Okay, so to add lang po dun sa kay VP Sara naman. So doon mo pa rin makikita na napatunayan na si VP Sara, bukod sa mga videos na nakikita natin na pinagkakaguluhan siya, nagko-convert pa rin talaga yung support sa kanya into votes. Ngayon, itong mga nagbalimbingang kaaway niya, bumalimbing, di ba? Iniisip nila kasi dahil binubugbog si VP Sara, hihina na, so nagbalimbingan sila. Ngayon, curious lang ako, sino kaya mga nagbalimbingang, mga nag-alisan ang magbabalikan sa poder? Kasi kita na ito kasi yung eleksyon, nakitang-kita yung power or influence ng nag-endorse. Tingnan mo ilan lang dyan yung kandidato ni Bongbong. At yung kandidato ni Bongbong na yon, may sarili na rin talagang pangalan tulad ni Tito Soto, ni Ping Lacson. Kahit wala si Bongbong, kaya na manalo ng dalawa na yan Tsaka si Pia Cayetano. So yung mga, technically, yung mga nanalo under ticket ni Bongbong, hindi din niya gawa. Kumbaga parang mga sarili-sarili rin silang mga kanya-kanyang base na na-amplify lang nung pag-endorse sa kanila. Pero hindi ibig sabihin yun yung nagpanalo sa kanila. So, ngayon, sana mapaisip na kayo. Pag-isipan nyo mabuti, pagdating lalo ng impeachment trial, yung gagawin ninyo. Kasi nakita nyo nangyari kay Tolentino, nakita nyo yung nangyari kay Abalos, nakita nyo yung nangyari kay Pacquiao. Si Pacquiao na hindi ko inaasahang malalaglag, nalaglag. Ang lakas-lakas ni Pacquiao pero dahil ang naging narrative kasi ng kwento niya sa politika kaaway ng Duterte. Kasi dahil nahati yung dalawang faction ng PDP, nandun siya sa opposing, ang natatake yun sa tao So, si Pacquiao tuloy, naging tuloy siya, parang na-etchapuera siya sa picture.
Oh, plus the fact na yung kanyang PR is, bobo ako. Bobo ka nga talaga.
Ang pinaka-interesting for me, Miss Joey, ay si Tolentino. Kasi itong si Tolentino, ganyan na ganyan yung nangyari kay Dick Gordon nung 2022. Di ba? Yung parang kita-kita mo yung shifting niya ng alliance. Di ba? Bigla siyang, nagkakamping. Nagleno siya. Ayun, talo. Hindi na siya nakabalik. Ganun din yung ginawa nito ni Tolentino. Nung nakikita niya na yung init, dito sa, mainit ang PDP laban ngayon, alis na ako. Yung, akala mo kasi, kung siguro, Senator Tolentino, kung nagstay ka lang sana sa PDP, baka nagkaroon ka pa ng chance. Totohanan lang, baka di nanalo si Lito Lapid at ikaw ang pumasok. Pero, ano kasi, naka-apekto kasi yung pag hindi sa'yo pag-endorso ng INC din di ba? Kasi kung sino yung mga dinadala ng INC, nagkakaroon talaga yan ng advantage. Very interesting nga yung endorsement ng INC. Kung babalikan natin yung endorsement ng INC, halos lahat nandun. Si Bong Revilla lang ang wala. Tama po ba? 7 yung pumasok sa 8 nilang endorse. Si Bong Revilla lang yung nalaglag sa ilalim. Di ba? That's how powerful INC is. Di ba? Yung endorsement nila. So, hindi dapat siya binabaliwala. And last point regarding sa endorsement nga ng INC, hopefully, lahat ng in-endorse ng INC, pangatawanan nyo naman yung panawagan ng INC ng kapayapaan, ng wag magkagulong pamumulitika.
We are going to see how it's going to unfold, no? Kasi, for example, si BAM at saka si BAM na in-endorse ng INC, let us see if BAM is you know, we do not know if BAM is going to pay his dues after winning. That's the question. Ngayon, kung hindi siya magbayad ng dues niya, let's say sabihin natin he would go hard on Inday Sara's impeachment at hindi niya i-consider yung stand ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Well, ang mangyayari niyan, Iglesia ni Cristo would probably not endorse Bam Aquino ever again. Ganon. Yes. Pero kung kunwari, kung afford naman ni Bam, di wala akong pakialam. Hindi huwag niya ako endorse kung feeling ni Bam afford niya, ganyan. Pero kung kunwari feeling niya, kailangan niya ang INC for his longer political career, he might not do it. Pero ano yan kumbaga parang it is something that we have to cross the bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
Hindi tayo makakasigurado kung ano. At wala rin tayo sa position to demand. Sa totoo lang. Wala rin tayo sa position to demand. Kasi it's really about Bam Aquino playing his own cards. Ganon. Whether afford niyang mawala ang Iglesia ni Cristo in the future or not, it's really up to him.
Tsaka Miss Joey, interesting rin na nawala na yung makabayan sa party list. Wala yung makabayan, wala yung kabataan, wala yung Gabriela. Although, ang daming nagkapuan kasi yung akbayan. So, possible sila, no? 2 seats or 3 yung akbayan. So, interesting lang. May chance pa bang makapasok sila? Yung kabataan, yung Gabriela, tsaka yung isa, yung
hindi ko
ECT.
Depende sa ranking yan Depende sa ranking yan. May may 84.99 yung election returns na bumalik. So, kasi parang 20% nung district representative yung inaalaw na maging party list representative. So ngayon, yung 20% na yun, kailangan ma-fill up yun lahat. I think, kung ma-fill up yun lahat, may entitlement kasi like if you get certain percentage of vote, ikaw yung if you get certain percentage of vote, you will be entitled to maybe 1, 2, or 3 representatives. Ganon. Yun, ngayon kung kunwari, from there, yung ranking, depende kung gaano karami yung botong nakuha mo, it will determine kung ilang seats yung magiging entitled ka. Until mapuno yung, I think meron gumawa ng math kanina, parang 63 yata yung representative na 63 yung representative na manggagaling sa party list. Ayun. So, i-rank muna silang lahat, depende dun sa nakuha nilang boto, magkakaroon sila ng seat. Ayan. Number 1 na ang number 1 na ang Solid North Party. Number 2, Provinciano ako. Number 3, ako, Ilocano. Number 4, dapat.
Joey, Ilocos lang yan
Ay, oo, sorry, Ilocos lang pala to. Oh, tama. Ilocos lang pala to. Ayan. Pagkatapos, yung senators sa Ilocos pala. Oo, sorry, ano lang pala to. Nakalimutan ko. Nagpunta nga pala ako sa Ilocos kasi may nagpa-check ng Ilocos Ayan. Sa Ilocos, number 1, Amy Marcos, Erwin Tulfo, number 2. Ping Lacson, number 3, Tito Soto, Cayetano. Number 6, Bam Aquino, Bong Revilla, Ben Tulfo, Benhur Abalos, Binay. So, mahina ang Duterte. Walang Duterte, no? Na pumasok. Wala. Even Bongo, wala sa Ilocos Norte. Rodante Marcoleta, 17. De La Rosa, 18. Ayun.
Curious pala ako, nanalo ba si Pami Zamora?
Hindi daw.
Ay, salamat. Salamat.
Ayan.
Abante, talo na din. Thank you, Lord.
Oo.
Si Joel Chua lang.
Baka mahabol pa. Ayun. Anyway,
Okay.
anything else you want to share? We deserve better.
Yun lang po. Thank you so much. Happy, uh, ano pa to? Congratulations, Senator Marcoleta. Bye-bye.
Ayan. Okay, thank you very much. We deserve better. Ayan. Hello, JRP Creatives. Hello, JRP. Hello, nakamute ka, JRP.
Yo,
Ayan,
dinig na po.
hello.
Ayun.
Narinig na.
Magandang gabi po. Ayun. Mag-share lang po ako ang insights. I'm an INC member, so
Mhm.
masaya ako at nakapasok po ang tactical endorsement ng INC. So, i-share ko lang.
Except
Nung
Bong Revilla. Si Bong Revilla hindi pumasok eh.
ay, may ideya ako dyan kay Bong Revilla. Medyo
Oo.
sensitive. Baka i-PM ko na lang sa inyo, Ma'am Joey.
Oo. Okay.
Okay. Sa mga nagtatanong, bakit yun nga, bakit hindi nakuha yung ibang PDP slate? Kasi simula nung lumabas yung endorsement, inaway na kami.
Mhm.
Hindi nakakatulong yun, yung awayan kami. Yung mga
Mm.
negative campaign. Kahit yung mga ginagawa ng mga ibang vlogger na sinasabi, may 4 na slot naman na bakante, baka pwedeng, nako, mas lalong hindi nakakatulong po yun. You might remember, yung mga kakampings ayaw ng INC. Why? They're so rabid. Mula sa social media hanggang sa mga kapilya namin. Binabato, iniingayan, and everything else. Kaya hirap na hirap ang mga nakakamping sa mga politiko nila na makapasok, na ma-endorso rin ng INC. Kaya, pakiusap, huwag niyo na po gawin yan. Ayaw po, me being sumaside rin kay Duterte, lalo na kay Tatay Duterte sa kanyang ginawa sa kanya na hindi naman makatao. Wag naman po sana humantong na bigla magdesisyon rin ng INC pagdating ng 2028 na iba na lang ang tulungan imbis na ang BP Sara. Yun lang ang pakiusap ko sa inyo. Nawa irespeto niyo po kung ano po ang napagpasyahan ng INC. So, bakit po hindi na kuha yung ibang PDP? You might remember, FPRRD and Bongo visited central office of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Most probably, kinausap rin na kahit papaano tulungan muli si Senator Bato and Bongo na ma-endorse ulit. So, maganda naman ang performance ng dalawa. Naturally, ma-endorse ulit sila. Eh, paano yung iba sa PDP? Si Marcoleta, given na yan dahil ka-member namin yan. So, nag-isip-isip rin ako, ano ba talaga dahilan? Not until last Sunday, nakumpiyan ko mula sa third floor studio. Kasi nagtanong ako sa kanila kung humingi ba ng appointment na
Oo, hindi daw
central.
hindi daw nagpunta si Attorney Vic sa INC.
Yeah, and I respect it. Yun ang estilo niya eh. Yun ang style niya.
Mm.
Sagutin ko lang tong Lark. Hindi kami nagte-threat. Sinasabi lang namin kung bakit ayaw namin sa mga kakamping. Ayaw rin namin humantong rin na ganun mangyari. As a member na who's siding to VP Sara, na ang posisyon ng INC ay iba na lang ang tulungan. So please, be respectful din sa pananaw na iba. So back to sa senator. So naging strategic na lang rin ang move ng INC dahil yun nga, mukhang wala talaga lumapit from the other PDP senators.
Mm.
Baka iniisip na baka i-endorse na lang sila dahil kasama si Congressman Marcoleta. Hindi po ganun ang system eh. Kahit sa mga datihan ng mga politiko, they still want to talk to the leadership of INC.
Kasi
Kasi
hindi naman
tinimbang-
mabibigyan ng endorsement yan kung hindi lumapit, di ba?
Yes. Ini-schedule yan kasi lalo na dumaan tayo sa pandemic. So nag-iingat rin na for health-wise, ini-schedule yung mga yan. So in history ng INC, hindi yan nag-i-straight na isang political party lang. Iba't ibang political party yan kinukuha. Why? Kasi we're trying to get people from different parties to work together to make our country better. Okay lang na magbagayan sila, magdebate sila. Okay lang yan. Basta kung ikagaganda ng bansa natin. So yun ang naging strategic vote. Ang usap-usapan pa
Hindi
nga,
ko
it
alam
was
kung napakinggan mo yung live ko nung isang araw, JRP, about this, about doon sa INC vote. Na, I said last time na yung INC kasi, syempre, it is more than 100-year na institution. So INC is going to make a decision based on their own interest and the interest of their members. And at the same time, ano ang tawag dito? Hindi siya magde-decide ng hindi siya yung magde-decide ng for now lang, yung ganon. Na, ay sige, magde-decide kami. Kumbaga parang dahil lang gusto nilang controlling yung resulta ng election or something. Hindi ganon yung nila, hindi ganon yung way nila ng pagdidesisyon. Of course, sa atin na tagalabas, ang tingin natin doon is just, it is block voting. But of course, sa part ng INC, aside from having some evangelical justification doon sa ginagawa nila, they are also, kasi iba na parang, ay hindi yung INC, iniisip nyo lang yung sarili ninyo, ganyan-ganyan. Parang, well, to a certain extent, yes, the INC is not going to survive more than 100 years if they're not thinking about the welfare of their church and the welfare of their members. So, that's just the way it is. Ganun talaga yun. Organization sila, institution sila. So, they have to think long-term. They have to think
and
long-term.
it's
So,
a valid reason rin from an outsider.
Hindi talaga yan wired ng katulad ng mga ordinaryo ng mga tao na mag-iisip sila na parang, ay hindi, kung ano lang yung political, kumbaga kung ano yung political position ng isang normal na tao, ganun lang rin yung magiging desisyon nila. Hindi ganun. Kasi nga, syempre, it is an organization na, it is a permanent institution. It is more than 100 years. And they have been, around for a very long time. And you expect them to be around for a very, very long time. So, kumbaga, i-expect nyo na hindi sila magde-decide na katulad ng mga hindi member ng INC. Ayun.
Yeah, it's a valid reason naman from the perspective of an outsider. Kasi sa amin, history rin ng INC, na-persecute din kami because of our difference from the Catholic, from the Protestant, na iba kami. We also been persecuted. So ano lang gusto lang namin, yung nakakasamba kami ng maayos, na hindi nangangamba na biglang may biglang bumaril doon sa kapila namin or everything. Then malaya kaming nakapagpapahayag through evangelical works like pamamahayag sa mga liwasan na papayagan kami. And third, kung may socio-civic activities kami to help our kababayans like every typhoon. So nagano rin kami, social civic works din kami. Ganun ang mga ginagawa. Katulad sa Leyte, nagpatayo kami ng isang parang village doon. Hindi lang puro para sa INC members lang 'yon. Kahit sa mga hindi INC members doon sa Leyte, nagpatayo rin kami ng mga factories para meron silang
kumbaga,
trabaho.
ang point lang dyan, JRP, is that you do not look at kumbaga, focus kayo doon sa tingin ninyo na align doon sa inyong mga religious value rather than doon sa political alliances. Ayun.